Now, if we zoom out even further and think about the Robotaxi opportunity, we think that that could drive $9 trillion in revenue to the Robotaxi platforms within the next decade. But I think people are also starting to recognize this Robotaxi opportunity and give it some credit. Our $3,000 price target assigns a 50% probability to Robotaxis. Every single day, more data is being collected. And the more data that gets collected, the closer we are to actually seeing that opportunity realized.
It's not a demand issue, it's a supply issue.
Okay, so why are people selling it? Which I think, by the way, is a mistake to sell.
That there is a contributing influence where Tesla is seen by many as the main event akin to a full-stack sustainable ETF.
Hey, I'm Stephen and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. So once again, congratulations to all Tesla stock hodlers. I've got to say, I'm relieved to see Tesla stock has finally taken a small breather and not closed at another record all-time high for the 469,000th day in a row. Tesla stock down just over 3% for the day. Very relieved to see this. Just to give you folks some perspective, over the 5 days, it's barely noticeable. Over the 1 month, Tesla stock up about 50%, 6 months over 70%, up 176% over the 1 year. Tesla stock up almost 3,000% over the last 5 years. Since IPO, Tesla stock up 30,420.05%. And of course, the 3% dip on Tesla stock today doesn't even make an impact on the long-term Tesla stock price chart. So in today's video, Jim Cramer says that selling Tesla stock is a bad idea. He also has some comments discussing retail investors, aka us, and ARK Invest discussed their $3,000 price target for Tesla stock in their base case. Now, just to be clear, the ARK Invest $3,000 price target for Tesla stock is a 2025 price target. And just to give you guys and girls some context, my Tesla stock bear case price target for 2025 is higher than ARK's base case. If I told you guys my base case price target for Tesla stock in 2025, never mind my bull case, I would most definitely get laughed off the entire interwebs. However, I'm used to being laughed at until I'm right. If you're curious and want to see my Tesla stock price targets all the way out to 2031, bear case, base case, and bull case, you can check them out by joining Patreon, card in the corner. You'll also get access to a ton of exclusive videos and almost 100 exclusive Q&As. Check it out, there's a link in the description. In this video, ARK Invest will also be discussing the $9 trillion with a T, $1 trillion opportunity for Robotaxi in just the next decade. So if you're a long-term investor, stick around, and if you're not, get the out of here. If you love crypto, stocks, and free stuff, or just want to help out the channel, check out these great offers. BlockFi are launching the world's first Bitcoin rewards credit card. People in the US can earn 1.5% Bitcoin back on every purchase with no annual fee using the BlockFi Bitcoin rewards credit card. Check out the link in the description. And for a limited time, you can get up to $250 in crypto bonuses when funding a new account on BlockFi, where you can use cryptocurrency to earn interest, borrow cash, and buy or sell crypto. If you want your free crypto, use the link in the description. And if you'd like up to 2 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. If you open a new account, you'll get 1 free stock valued up to $300 just for opening an account. And if you make an initial deposit of $5 or more, you'll get a second free stock valued up to $2,000. Seriously. Free stocks? Yes, please. And finally, if you're in Australia, the UK, or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake, also linked in the description. Thanks so much for your support, guys. Let's get back to it.
The story is still the move in Tesla. The story is still the incredible accretion of market value to this company's company over the last 4 weeks, which is well above now $300 billion.
Right.
That's the story. Hertz was a part of it. Unclear, like he asked. You don't know how much of it really was based on that or not. My guess is they will fulfill the contract. And he makes the same point he's made a number of times, which
I agree with you.
It's not a demand issue, it's a supply issue.
Okay, so why are people selling it? Which I think, by the way, is a mistake to sell, because what's going to happen is retail. We're in a moment.
It's up 52% in a month.
But I talked about this last night. There's a couple of stocks, NVIDIA, which is owned by my charitable trustee. These are stocks, NVIDIA being metaverse. We can talk about that later with a really interesting interview
with Eric Schmidt.
But Carl, they're these stocks that are, I call them anointed stocks, and the retail investor has decided it really doesn't matter Like I saw a Tesla last night, white Tesla, looked very nice. Retail investors says, "Ooh, look at that! I've seen 2 Teslas today. Let's go buy some Tesla."
So some interesting comments here from Jim Cramer. First of all, suggesting that selling Tesla stock is a bad idea, and hey, who am I to argue with that? I think in 2030, when we look back on today's prices, Tesla was only just a $1 trillion market cap. I think it's going to look dirt cheap. The second point that Cramer made there is a retail investor sees more Teslas out and about on the roads and thinks, I might buy more Tesla stock. Now, personally, this isn't exactly how I invest, but I do acknowledge his point, and I can definitely tell you that there's going to be many more people seeing Teslas on the roads and seeing the number of Teslas on roads multiplying in the coming months and years. And speaking of seeing more Teslas on roads, I just want to show you guys an amazing clip that I saw pop up on Twitter a couple of days ago. This was Halloween, bunch of kids out trick-or-treating, somebody having a lot of fun with Tesla's new security/voice feature. Now, the point of this video isn't to show you guys how cool Teslas are, how much fun you can have with them, some practical jokes, and how much joy these products bring to people's lives. The point is to show you guys what is happening with the next generation of future Tesla buyers. The point I want to drive home by showing this clip is practically every kid on the planet knows what a Tesla is. There are no other vehicles, no other brands on roads that are both this universally recognized and admired by kids.
Happy Halloween, kid. That was a Tesla. Wait, is that the Tesla? Teslas, I know. Is that the Tesla? The Tesla was talking. Okay, I'm freaking out. No, over there. Go to the candy. Where are you? Go get your candy. Oh my god! That's pretty creepy. What are you doing, Tesla? Hi, happy Halloween. Daddy, the Tesla's talking! How are you talking? Tell your dad to buy a Tesla. Happy Halloween! Enjoy your night, dude.
Now, how cool was that? There is literally no other vehicle. In fact, there's probably very few, if any, other products on the planet that could incite so many giggles and bring so much joy to those kids. And from a Tesla stock investor's point of view, it's even cooler. Notice, those kids, those girls, I don't know, they're early school age, all knew what a Tesla was. It wasn't that car is talking, it's that Tesla is talking. Anyone want to guess what they'll be buying and or using as a hail on demand Robotaxi service in the future? Let me know in the comments below.
Or they buy a fractional share of Tesla. And they're not buying fractional shares of other stocks. Retail investors being driven a lot by what we would call ESG. They think that I want to make a statement. I want to buy something that cleans the environment. So the retail investor is very oriented toward morals and ethics. It's very quite different from what we're used to.
That's exactly what Jonas said a few weeks ago, that there is a contributing influence where Tesla is seen by many as the main event akin to a full stack sustainable ETF.
Some fair points there from Cramer, and also that quote from Adam Jonas of Morgan Stanley. I actually like that. Tesla effectively a full stack sustainable ETF. Fair point.
That was Morgan Stanley.
Well, look, I think that the only difference would be if you deal with like a plug power would say, listen, we're green hydrogen. Tesla plugs into a system that is not necessarily all green by any means, David. You know that our system in our country is hardly green. And when I was called a hologram by the fight that I had with Musk at dinner, David, was about the notion that if you plug into the regular utility system, I mean, it's a farce to think that therefore the skies are green. It has to be solar. But of course, he's addressed that.
He has. He's addressed a lot of things.
He's addressed a lot.
Tesla's an incredible story. We talk about it a lot because of that. And Musk is probably the most consequential business figure on the planet right now.
I mean, duh. Only the mentally ill, basement-dwelling, self-hating adult virgins of Tesla Q would argue that point. I'm curious though, do any of you think that Elon Musk isn't the most consequential business person in the entire recorded history of human civilization? Let me know in the comments below. Do you agree Elon Musk is the most consequential business person in recorded history? And if not, who was more influential than Elon Musk?
I'm not going to disagree with that. Carl, you agree?
I mean,
most consequential person in business today.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
It
it's
really
hard not because of SpaceX. You know, if it was just Tesla, all right, maybe Bezos still, maybe you could, Zuckerberg and what he's doing. Oh man, that's scary.
We'll get there.
But because Musk is also got
he's the
SpaceX
driver
and everything else. I mean, we talk about him a lot. You know what?
He deserves it.
This Hertz deal, whether they're buying him a retail or there should have been a coup. Honestly, who cares?
Well, look, I mean, Rivian's going to come public, right? Rivian has 100,000 order, or already 100,000 vehicle order from Amazon. Ford Motor owns $1.2 billion, and that's
at a lower valuation.
Right, and that's going to be the big.
We're talking about a $60 billion valuation.
We know that's probably facetious. It's probably going to be much more than that.
Well, it probably will go up.
Right.
Once it prices.
Right.
Once again, just want to take this opportunity to state in no uncertain terms that the Rivian IPO price is absolutely obscene, completely ridiculous, just flat out ludicrous. Same can be true of the current Lucid stock price. That being said, these companies may, against all odds, eventually become successful, reach mass production, and actually become profitable. But I wouldn't be betting on it. I personally believe the odds are stacked heavily against these companies being successful over the long term. Do you guys know how to play roulette? I personally feel that investing in these companies is effectively like putting all of your chips on a single number, one spin of the roulette table, all or nothing. You either completely wipe out, or maybe you're successful. Let's see what happens. Red 34. Turns out prototypes are easy and production is hard. Gamble responsibly, folks.
By the way, the enthusiasm created by Tesla that has spread throughout EV and obviously is also pushed ahead in part because of ESG, the environment being the first part of that.
Correct.
Is very significant. We watched it happen over these last few years. Rivian in January was a $28 billion private market value, at least in its last round. Now it's coming into being public very soon at 60. By the way, these private market valuations have been incredibly important. They are stratospheric in many ways. There is some question as to how long they will continue, but they have been incredibly helpful to public market investors, a la the hedge funds we talk so often about, because frankly, they have, as usual, not done a particularly good job with their public equity investing, but the marks they've taken on all privates, and by the way, so many of them do privates, are incredibly significant because you can get a multiple like this. Rivian is losing billions of dollars every year.
Well, okay. People have lost billions of dollars buying anything other than Tesla.
Right, but
that was kind of funny from Cramer. People have lost billions of dollars buying anything other than Tesla. In a roundabout way, it's kind of true.
It's a capital-intensive business. You got to spend the money initially, and we'll see whether this becomes a huge player in the EV market for pickups and SUVs.
Well, we know that Ford has a full line of pickups, and Ford, as Jim Farley has said, look, we're going to own that section of the market. People are waiting for Tesla's pickup. But I mean, David's right. What's happened is people want to be EV. Now, what's happened is, let's say you call on the lightning round of Mad Money. You say, look, I like QuantumScape or I like ChargePoint. I mean, I just say, listen, just go buy Tesla. Just go buy Tesla. You can say buy Enphase Energy if you want to buy solar, which is was my leader of last month.
Yeah.
But, Carl, I just find that there are people who literally are voting and buying with their dollars as if somehow, if you buy shares in Lucid, it's going to be good for Lucid and the environment. Like, I never bought a stock because it was going to be good for the environment. People care.
I'm curious, out of everyone watching who owns Tesla stock, which I presume is 99.9% of you, let me know in the comments below. Was part or all of your investment decision based around the positive impact for the environment, or was it purely a financial/investment decision? Let me know below. Now, time to switch gears and talk ARK Invest's $3,000 price target for Tesla stock in the base case and the $9 trillion Robotaxi opportunity.
Joining us now is Will Summerlin, ARK Invest internet analyst. Will, great to have you with us. I mean, in the short term, are you guys getting tempted to take profits? Not just little trims, but take major profits. It's such a huge exposure for the fund that we just mentioned, but for the company as a whole.
Yeah, it's great to be with you. So, we're a long-term focused investor. We focus 5 years out, and our current price target for Tesla is $3,000.
So much to discuss there. Notice immediately the short-sighted, short-term, short on brain-celled nature of CNBS. In the short term, are you guys tempted to blah, 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 blah. ARK Invest always reminding the people that they're talking to in the mainstream finance media, we are long-term investors. Every time it is the same story. Either Tesla stock's down in the last 3 milliseconds and they're going, oh, well, Tesla stock's down, did your thesis change? Blah, blah, blah. Or Tesla stock's up in the last 2 microseconds and therefore should you be selling and taking profits. Not once have I heard somebody in the mainstream finance media talking with anyone from ARK Invest saying, tell us about your long-term thesis around Tesla. What do you see changing or evolving? What's the opportunity over the next 5+ years? The second thing there, the $3,000 price target on Tesla stock, I've got to say, I'm going to be honest here, ARK Invest starting to look like Tesla bears these days, and I'm serious, by the way. I expect that ARK Invest will be significantly increasing their Tesla stock price targets sometime in the next 6, 9, maybe at most 12 months.
Now, if we zoom out even further and think about the Robotaxi opportunity, that focus on artificial intelligence, so I'm most excited by autonomy, we think that that could drive $9 trillion in revenue to the Robotaxi platforms within the next decade.
First of all, a $9 trillion opportunity in terms of revenue from Robotaxi over the next decade, so call it in 2031, about $9 trillion of potential revenue to be captured by companies who can take a slice of the Robotaxi market. This is a truly, truly, truly absurd number. But I also believe that it is completely realistic. ARK Invest have published their research, they've shown how they're coming to these conclusions, and just a bit of inside information for those of you that don't know, I've recently updated my Tesla valuation model to include the impact of Robotaxi. This is what spits out my 10-year price targets for Tesla stock all the way out to 2031, the bear case, the base case, and the bull case. And by adding the implications of Robotaxi, my 2031 bull case price target for Tesla stock almost doubled overnight. As I've said previously, check out the card in the corner or the link in the description to join Patreon to gain access to the price targets plus a bunch of exclusive content. And I will warn you now, my 2031 bull case, in fact my 2031 base case price target for Tesla stock seems completely ludicrous, but guess what? I'll be around in 2031 to find out how close I was. Just in case you're wondering, what percent of this $9 trillion 2031 revenue opportunity that ARK is suggesting is available do I personally have Tesla capturing from their share of the Robotaxi market in 2031? 5% in my bull case. Seriously. In other words, I mean, look, maybe I'm completely deluded, but I believe my bull case is actually quite conservative. I've assigned it a 45% probability. Not a 5% probability, not 10%, but 45%. So I'm being very, very conservative in all of my estimates, and it's still spitting out absolutely obscene price targets. Like I said, if you want access, check out the link in the description, join Patreon. This is one of the core reasons I believe it's just a matter of time until ARK Invest considerably increase their Tesla stock price targets. EV adoption rates are accelerating, Tesla is maintaining market share, and they're just around the corner from solving autonomy, in my opinion. I'm expecting the first fully autonomous ride will occur in a Tesla sometime in 2024. It is hard to predict exactly when Tesla will solve autonomy, but in my opinion, it's only a matter of time, given the fact that their data is growing exponentially, they're making huge progress, the full self-driving beta software is rolling out to more and more users. I don't think we're too far away, but I do just want to address the skeptics. I see people sometimes claiming it's going to be at least 10 years until there's fully autonomous vehicles anywhere on planet Earth. I personally think these people have no idea about how neural networks work or how important data is to solving this problem. In either case, Tesla both has the winning approach and an unassailable data lead. They will be first to solve generalized autonomy. Sure, as we've talked about in the past, if you put your little car in a sandpit with some training wheels, geofence it, use HD mapping of everything, pre-map the entire thing, and then use LiDAR just to make sure that it hasn't veered too far off its rail, so to speak, then sure, there'll be other autonomous ride-hail services operating in small areas first. But like I've said in the past, if you take this vehicle out of its sandpit, it's a death machine. Long story short, when Tesla has solved autonomy, you can pick up a Tesla, drop it anywhere on planet Earth, and it will safely drive you to your destination. With that said, truthfully, the timing around the solving of autonomy really doesn't matter. I'm a long-term, multi-decade investor. I don't give a flying f*** if Tesla has its first Robotaxi fare in 2024, 26, 27, 28, 29, I could care less. It doesn't affect things over the long term. Either way, I am adamant Tesla will be the first to solve generalized autonomy and deploy it widely across a large fleet of vehicles. I do just want to remind everybody watching, don't bet against Elon. And you guys know the deal, right? Link in description. You can grab your own Don't Bet Against Elon merch. There's shirts, there's hoodies, long sleeves, phone cases, mugs, you name it. By the way, massive shout out to everybody who's supporting the channel by picking up some merch. There are now 1,100 units just of the Don't Bet Against Elon merch design sold. Thanks so much for the support. This merch is a great feel-good design because hopefully by wearing this out and about in public, you'll save a few morons from losing their entire life savings by failing to heed the advice on the merch. Special shout out to Tesla Q.
And, self-driving really comes down to a data problem. You need a lot of data to train systems to drive themselves. And, Tesla has a fleet of hundreds of thousands of cars collecting billions of data points every single day.
Sam is right, but if we're being absolutely accurate, Tesla's fleet now around 2 million vehicles and growing at a crazy rate. Tesla's annualized rate of production now over 1 million vehicles per year and growing fast.
Whereas if you look at Waymo or others, they have hundreds of cars on the road. And so they have such a data advantage. We think they're well positioned to capture that autonomous opportunity. And so while we do trade, actively, and Kathy manages the portfolios on a daily basis, we are very much long-term focused.
And not too worried about the threat of other EVs, which I guess is as pronounced as it's ever been, as significant as it's ever been.
Yeah, and my colleague Tasha Keeney, who focuses on Tesla, has done a lot of work on this and put out a lot of content. Sam Corris, who covers energy storage, has also done a lot of research on batteries and supply chain issues there. And we feel very strongly about Tesla.
But it's not rising for the reasons you guys are bullish on it, right? It's not rising because of robotaxis and autonomous. It's rising because, well, it just got a big order from Hertz, which clears the way, I think, for more mainstreamization of these EVs. So I wonder, so do you think that there's only more upside because of that? Why do you think it is rising? Because on a day like today, it jumped and there was no good reason.
I think people are starting to realize that this transition to EV is happening more quickly than many expected. And it's difficult for legacy companies to compete in this world. If you think about Tesla's ability to execute here, they've been building EVs as long as they've been a car company. The legacy car companies are just starting to come around the corner and try to build EVs. And so Tesla has a distinct technology advantage and a supply chain advantage and a manufacturing advantage when it comes to EVs.
Oh, is that all?
But I think people are also starting to recognize this robotaxi opportunity and give it some credit. Our $3,000 price target assigns a 50% probability to robotaxis. And every single day, more data is being collected. And the more data that gets collected, the closer we are to actually seeing that opportunity realized.
That's right. And it's not just that more data is being collected, it's that Tesla's lead in terms of data is actually growing exponentially with every passing day. Tesla gets further and further ahead of everyone else even trying to solve autonomy. Like I said, their lead is literally unassailable. So hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Just out of interest, let me know in the comments below. What percent of this $9 trillion revenue opportunity in 2031 in terms of robotaxi revenue do you think Tesla will capture? Keeping in mind, my bull case price target at this point in time has Tesla capturing just a 5% slice of this $9 trillion in revenue. Again, a reminder, my Tesla price targets for the next 10 years available exclusively on Patreon, so check out the link in the description. And just finally, if you'd like to send out a message to anyone foolish or moronic enough to even consider betting against Elon Musk, there's a link in the description for the Don't Bet Against Elon Musk merch designs. These are super popular. This is the second best-selling design in the merch store, and I can understand why. This is an extremely important message/warning. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. And don't forget the BlockFi Bitcoin Rewards credit card, where you can earn 1.5% Bitcoin back on every purchase. There's a link in the description. You can also earn up to $250 in crypto bonuses when funding a new account on BlockFi, also linked below. And finally, don't forget your free stocks with WeBull and Stake, also linked in the description. These great offers also help out the channel. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. P.S. If you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can keep creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. You can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch store. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.